Hey there, paper geeks and glitter nerds. It's Anna the Crazy Geek Craft, and this is a joint Halloween Yuletide project. At Halloween, I played around with baking soda and acrylic paints, and I kept on experimenting with these ghosts, for instance. I wanted to cover up the glitter on them. I was never a big fan of it, and I didn't really appreciate the fact that they were the same but not. So I'm trying to cover it up here with some white paint. I need a bit more moisture to get that around. I was running low on paint, unfortunately, but I did manage to go and grab some more white paint so I could finish it, because this is what I learned. The acrylic paint with the baking soda in it doesn't cover that well. Maybe acrylic paint wouldn't have covered this anyway, but if you want to change the color of something from dark to light, then paint a base coat first. You don't need the baking powder for that, just a plain base coat, and then you can do the baking soda afterwards. Now what I wanted, the reason why I put the baking soda in there is because it supposedly turns the paint matte instead of glossy, and I wanted that look for these ghosts, that's the word. I added some more water in because it became really dry, and I think that also kind of ruined the baking powder effect. But at this point I just wanted to cover up the black on this, and I knew I was gonna have to do a second coat of it. I let it dry and came back to do a second coat. Like I said, I went out to get some more paint, and I did water it down a tiny bit, but not as much as the other one. And where there did I go? But okay, maybe almost as much as the other one. It's hard to see because of the baking powder in the other one, but yeah. I'm trying it out again to get that matte finish that I really want. I think after doing the bubbles also, I can conclude that you can actually paint with the with the paint that's mixed with baking soda. It puffs up, you know, but you can't do it with a paintbrush. It didn't. You get streaks, and you may leave behind areas with lumps. You'll see that when I show you the finished sculptures. At this point I knew that this was not going to be a successful project. I was not going to keep these, even though I wanted to, because they were a gift from a friend, but they just don't fit my aesthetic. And you can see here I gave this 2 coats, tried to at least, and you can still see the glitter underneath. And then I had some areas where the paint had puffed up in an undesirable way. I think that's the easiest way to say it. And as you see here, I still have some areas where I didn't paint it all completely, because I knew this was a learning experience, and I'm going to take what I learned and use it for my Christmas bubbles. Last year I thought I bought 1 case of these discounted bubbles. They're in a, it's not really gold color, but it's golden-ish. maybe a bit red in there. I'm uncertain, but I bought them for painting projects like this. So, but I accidentally ordered 2. So I'm going to do some for gifts that are not really in my color palette, which is more of blues and darks, maybe whites and silvers. And I'm just gonna have fun with it. I'm going to dab it on with some sponges. And it's gonna be a bit trial and error on how to get the paint on without getting too knackered myself. But yeah, that's just the way it is. I will try a few things with the first one, but it will be pretty fast learning to get the best method. This red here is no more. I don't know why I picked red for the first one. I wanted to try mixing perfect pearls in with this, with the acrylic paint. I hoped that it could give it the shine I wanted instead of having to use silver acrylic paint, but spoiler alert, it didn't really work, at least not the way I see it. So that was my first test. But you won't know until you try it, right? And I made the mistake of starting at the bottom. I found out that at the end, the only place you can hold it is at the tip. So therefore you should start coloring around that one and then move on to the bottom when you're holding the top of the ornament. But lessons learned. I figured I was gonna hang them and that would be the solution, but in the end I had to pull off the toppers. They didn't all make it. They were a bit fragile. So yeah, I'll be gluing some ribbon over that to hide it. But they mostly made it. I think I broke maybe 10 at the most. So now that I have a way of doing it, I got myself some bamboo skewers, and these glasses from IKEA was actually for pepper and salt mills, but they're really heavy and they are smaller at the top and bigger at the bottom, which makes them not tip over when I put these inside, which is quite practical. And this sticks don't slide up the sides, which they do when you put them in normal glasses where the top is bigger than the bottom. I tried that off screen. As you can see, I am not the greatest at this mixing thing. I really wanted a really light color, and I just couldn't, for the life of me, get there. I tried mixing in some black to dull down the color a bit. That did help, but it's still not as light as I would have liked. But I'm going ahead and trying it out. Anyway, and you can really see the paint grow here, and it'll be even more visible when we go to 8 times the speed. Then you'll really see it. But yeah, I did 4 of each color, and that was on purpose. I thought that was a good amount for separating afterwards for those who I wanted to gift with these homemade Christmas decorations. And of course the ones I wanted to keep. So, but this color never really grew on me. It was too pink. And I don't really know anyone who is that into Barbie. I watched the movie, I liked it, but not for the pink. You've now seen all the colors, and I'm thinking you can guess which ones are just for me. So I'm just going to put them here in this lid of a box, keeping the colors separate as best I can, because some of them are actually so much alike I have trouble differentiating them. And that particularly goes for the brown ones I made to begin with. I made a batch with a bit of red in it and a batch without, and they're really hard to differentiate between. But yeah, so my experiment with the ghosts didn't go as well, but I learned a lot and I used it when I did my baubles, and that's the whole point of crafting, it's getting better and better. I hope you enjoyed this, that you'll be back next week. Until then, I hope you'll be having a good day, evening or night.